to be a part of this event conducted by Madras Christian College, Department of Commerce, Shift 2. I am Sneha AG from 2nd BCom Professional Accounting. I'm Sneha AG from 2nd BCom Professional Accounting. I welcome you all for the validity session of the annual conference and Insignia 2021, which brings out the amazing talents of the students in the field of business studies. After the 2 days of consistent hard work and support, today we are at the validatory session. So without further delay, let us get into the program and enjoy this evening. Our faith can move mountains. Matthew 17:20. Prayer is the language of God. To begin this event with the blessings of God, I would like to call Johanna Blessy from 2nd MCOM Koba for the opening prayer.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for being with us and guiding us. Keep us safe from all harm. Bless everyone that is present here. May your presence guide us through everything we do. Give us your grace as we start this program. May your presence be with everybody here. Help us to always stand up for the right and be kind to each other. Give us the strength and wisdom to be united and grow together. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Johanna. The best teachers are those who show you where to look but don't tell you what to see. And here is one such teacher, Dr. Zeenat Zarina, Staff Advisor, Students Forum. I request ma'am to welcome the dignitaries and the offline and online audience.
As I start this virtual meeting, I thought about the words of Walt Disney. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The God Almighty, who has constantly showered his blessings on us and has pushed us beyond all our obstacles for the past 3 months. By this wonderful evening, I welcome you all for the validatory function of 19th Conference on Recent Innovation in Business during COVID-19 and Insignia 2021. It's my privilege and honor to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Shivashankar Babu, Managing Consultant, Techno Bankers, Chennai, who has taken time out of his very busy schedule to spend his time with us. We welcome you, sir. I would also like to use this opportunity to honor our principal, Dr. P. Wilson, for being the pillar of strength that you always have been. Our Baza, Mr. Cyrus, whose support has always invaluable for the Department of Commerce. We welcome you, sir. With immense pleasure that I welcome our Director, Shift 2, Dr. J. Janet Vanilla, for the support to our department. This event would not have been possible if it weren't for the continued support of our beloved head of the department, Dr. Nirmala Mohan. We welcome you, ma'am. It is because of the constant hard work and perseverance of the entire student body and the staff that we are here today presenting this event to you. I extend my warm welcome to all the participants who have joined this virtual meeting from various places. Once again, I welcome you all.
Thank you, ma'am. A dream becomes a goal when action is taken towards its achievement. I request our head of the department, Dr. Nirmala Mohan, ma'am, to honor Dr. Janet Vanilla, ma'am, Director of Self-Finance Team, with a bouquet. Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Janet Vanilla, ma'am, Director of Self-Finance Stream, Madras Christian College, for the facilitation. Over to you, ma'am.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to felicitate all of you in this national conference and the 19th edition of this conference insignia. So, I was just fascinated by the title, Recent Innovations in Business During COVID-19. So, it is the need of the hour. I'm happy that the Commerce Department, under the leadership of Dr. Nirmala and Dr. Shirley and Zenith has come forward with a team of student body in arranging and organizing this wonderful conference. I'm just getting the feedback how it goes on. Really, I was really happy to see how it proceeded with the technical session, paper presentation, posters, quiz, business plan, debate, and so on. And you had a wonderful sessions for the past 3 days. And the title was also fascinating, Future of the Work and Skills. Nothing's permanent except change, individual version 5 for industry revolution, and you had a good resource person from in and outside. And also today for the validity function, Mr. Shivashankar Babu, managing consultant from Bank, Chennai, is also serving as the host. So it's really a amazing event. I'm happy that I could be a part of it. I don't know how many of you know about today, October 23rd. The day is known for, this is the last quiz. October 23rd, probably it may not be related to you, but this day is called as October 23rd day is called Mole Day, M-O-L-E. In chemistry point of view, 1 mole was defined by Avogadro, 6 into 10 to the power of 23. Unless, so our atoms and molecules in our body is denoted in terms of moles. So this is the moles, and I know that this mole is also connected to commerce. I don't know the terminology, but each and every aspect, nook and corner, nanomolecules related to commerce are covered in today's, last 3 sessions. That's what it says about COVID-19 and the situation in the business, inequities and how we can progress, and debates, paper presentation, everything was addressed. I'm happy about that way it proceeded. And this business, gone are the days you people are called as BCom or BCom professional and outing. So you need to come out of your cocoon, right? Gone are the days you are staying in the cocoon, you have to venture out. You should not be known as employees, but as employers. So in this COVID-19 situations, n number of business have been propped up and it has been ventured out. Many have been successful. One of the things that has been happening for almost 3-4 years is what we regularly use is WhatsApp. You know who came with WhatsApp? You're using WhatsApp? Most of you use WhatsApp. Now we have moved to Instagram, but you know who first started WhatsApp? It was Jans Cohn. This person, this boy was from a small village in Ukraine. He was a young boy where the parents moved as a migrants to California in his very young age. This boy was really fascinated about computers. He used to work, although he didn't have a formal education, but he had a great inclination towards computers. He worked and played with computers, and he managed to get a diploma. And in Yahoo, he got a apprentice, and he worked for 10 long years. During this time, really he was thinking that his realizing dreams is not to become just a like a small scale engineer in Yahoo, but in app development. Okay, so later you know that in 2009 he came with WhatsApp. You know what is the worth of WhatsApp now? Now it has been purchased by Facebook. What is the worth of business? Because you all deal with business. So it was sold for $14 billion in 2014. Now you see it is almost 30 to 40 billion worth WhatsApp. Yes. So all it started with some creative ideas. Think beyond, reach beyond, look beyond. Yes. What is a research? We all talk about research. Research is not finding something new, but research. Already existing, something is existing. You have to research to find out a novel outcome. So in this era of COVID-19, e-commerce is flourishing. Yes, so you know, e-commerce is flourishing. Gone are the days where we need a space of room to come with the business. You can just have a handset and your mobile phone. You can do a business worth of billions and millions, right? So think about the ideas, look into the ideas. We have a platform you to project your ideas. We have a MCC, MRF Innovation Park, a principal would have told about during the inauguration. So even it's a small idea, you don't think you need a big patenting stuff, not at all. An idea can fetch you money. So this platform, MCC, MRF Innovation Park, can mold you and mentor you to become a successful entrepreneur, and also will help you in networking with other people with similar ideas. Yes, so I thank you for giving me this opportunity. I wish you all the best. This 19th edition has come out successfully. I appreciate all the organizers and all the team. I wish all of you should have been here watching offline, but due to unfortunate reasons, we couldn't be that. But at least by the next time, I should see many of you occupying this chairs, many of you becoming entrepreneurs, many of you becoming employers rather than employees, and you have a bright scope in future. And most of you use your Paytm, right? You use your Paytm. What is Paytm? Can you expand what is Paytm? You're using Paytm? Google Pay? Pay? Anytime. Is it correct what he says? I appreciate his effort. Paytm. Pay through mobile. Pay through mobile. So like that, think about something else. We can sit at home and we can do the business. Okay? Best wishes and prayers. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It is a privilege to have you with us today. To introduce the guest of honor, I would like to call Sedhu Sundar from First BCom B.
Warm greetings to all. I, Sethu Sundar, on behalf of the Department of Commerce, Madras Christian College, deem it to be a great honor to humbly welcome and introduce Mr. Shivashankar Babu, sir. Sir is a techno-functional banker with 39 plus years of experience in financial services industry, with a passion for mentoring, travel, and spreading heritage awareness. After 15 years in Indian Overseas Bank, Sir worked in companies like Hexaware, Wipro, and Capgemini for 20 years. At present, Sir is doing domain consulting through his own company, Techno Bankers. It is with great pride that I announce Sir did his Bachelor's of Science Physics in our Madras Christian College between 1978 to 1981. Sir handles mentoring sessions for final year BE students for campus placement in leading institutions like SRM University, National Engineering College, St. Xavier's Catholic College, and supports final year placement for IIT Madras by conducting sessions on industry expectations, CV preparation, and mock interviews. Sir has traveled extensively throughout Tamil Nadu, the land of temples, and documented these in detail in his Facebook tour albums. Sir is a part of Tamil Heritage Trust and is a trained docent for Mahabalipuram and Kanjipuram. Sir is also involved in THT site seminars, which arranges tours for 6 to 7 days with 25 plus preparatory lectures by participants, which are compiled as a 2-book for an on-site appreciation. Sir's YouTube named Babu for Heritage is a go-to place for heritage videos where curated content is available under 50 plus categories. Sir has attended various courses in ancient scripts to read inscriptions and is renewing his passions for Indian history, ancient commerce, temple architecture, epigraphy, and iconography by attending various seminars on the same. Sir at present is pursuing his PG diploma in archaeology from International Institute of Tamil Studies. Sir is also working on entry-level guide for beginners on Tamil Nadu temple architecture, which is to be released soon. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your precious time to encourage our students. It's our pleasure to have you here with us today. Grateful for being given this opportunity on this big day. Thank you all once again.
Now I request Mr. Shivashankar Babu, Managing Consultant, Techno Bankers Chennai, to deliver the valedictory address.
Good afternoon. Am I audible? Good afternoon, all. First of all, a wonderful day. I was very happy listening to all the conversation, challenges, and the discussions on the business stage and the various arguments put through. So I was happy that the younger generation is taking this very seriously and analyzing it in a thorough manner. These 2 days have been a real joy, and I have been connecting with the activities on and off, and have been seeing a good participation level. I am proud to be part of MCC. Okay, so first of all, before I join and then talk about the key areas, I'd like to thank MCC for giving my second innings into MCC. Even though I have been very active in my primary place, Physics Alumni Association. I am a executive committee member in the Physics Alumni Association, and we have been doing a lot of interesting work in the last 10 years in the activities. But my second home is commerce. We belong to the 1981 first batch autonomous. So that was an interesting time where first year a lot of innovations happened, and then we are trying with around 6 or 7 more papers in BSc, which normally people finish in MSc. The bottom line is we could comfortably compete with the MSc students in many of the competitive exams in this by completing BSc. So that is an advantage. And we were doing a lot of experimentation in internals, practicals, and the way the exams are conducted. That's all. Many of the practices that were explored in 81 have become industry best practices now in MCC as well as in other colleges. One of the interesting practices is Part 3C. I don't know how it is called now. In our third year, we are the first batch. We were supposed to study 2 subjects outside our main area. Mine was physics, BSc physics, and with maths and chemistry as ancillary. But when I was in second year itself, I have written bank exam, and I had cleared bank exam. So by the time I came to third year, my job at IOB's Indian Overseas Bank is already confirmed. So actually, third year, I was supposed to take 2 subjects outside of my curriculum, and I chose commerce department. And then I studied financial accounting and salesmanship in the 2 semesters. Even though I couldn't score very good marks at the time because that was a little tough subject for me at that point of time. But what I learned has been very useful, and that has been my bread and butter for the next past 40 years, and it is continuing now. Still, I am continuing on the consulting in fairly advanced subjects in banking and other things like e-wallets and other things. I'm doing solutions and technology related product developments in e-wallet. So commerce has been my second home, and I am really happy and proud to be being part of getting associated with commerce department. I would love to continue this and then have a lot of interactions in commerce. like one of my pet subject is commerce and financial systems during Chola times. I had done a lot of presentations on that, and I can repeat one here also. So like that, whatever we have earned and understood in life the last few years, would like to share there. Bottom line is that we need to adapt and then adjust with the changes. COVID-19 situation is one such situation where we adapt and then change with the situation which throws at you. I studied physics and I studied a little bit of accounting, and I shifted to banking. The first 5 years in banking was in retail banking, where I was learning a lot of process accounting and all these things. Pure retail banking in a town well known for smuggling, Kilakare branch. Kilakare, many of you is known for smuggling and other things, proper secluded and then sensitive area. So I spent my initial 5 years there, and it was an interesting thing. Suddenly, I changed over to head office, and I landed in foreign exchange department. So next 5 years, I was learning in and out of foreign exchange, and then thorough. And I was in dealing room, and where we were managing the finances, foreign exchange finances of the entire bank. The next 5 years, again, my profile changed, and I adapted. I helped them in automation of the existing treasury systems into their into an automated system, and I learned computer programming in the flight. By 15 years, I resigned the bank and shifted over to full-time treasury product implementation in the IT company role. At that time, many people are saying that, why are you resigning a stable bank job and going into a consulting business? That was a time where the first salary I got in IT was less than what I had in bank. Again, change. Next 5 years, my challenge was in developing, consulting, doing things, implementing, learning new languages. We developed and products from scratch for 5 years. Then I shifted over to managing businesses. Okay. The next 5 years, I was managing Hexaware, Wipro, and Capgemini. Next 10 years was that period where I was using business units by managing a big team of business analysts and then processes. In this, I learned new accounting systems as well as new instruments. My core strength was foreign exchange, but I shifted over to equities, bonds, mortgage-based instruments, derivatives, and then structured products, options, futures. Every year was a learning new products in finance industry, learning new systems, new processes, accounting, risk management, control. Like that, even now I am learning. Now I am working on a web-based wallet project. I am learning new things even now. So the learning never stops. Adapting to the situation never stops. So after so much thing, I have taken a call back and I am doing my own consulting, and I focus only at the business analysis part now. And in part, I am doing heritage related training, temple architecture, and analyzing our history. Again, that is a change. So life is full of change, and depending on how you manage it, you may need to handle the situation. And COVID-19 has highlighted how we should be thinking. The guys who are able to adapt to the change and this one, they will survive. So that is a lesson COVID has taught us. Okay, we handle so many epidemics, and COVID is one of them. So let us see how the changes, who are adept and who are very, very dynamic, how the changes have happened, how they adapted. I'm going to cover it in the next 15, 20 minutes. Let me share the presentation. Can I give presentation access? I'm not able to share. Thank you. Are you able to see the screen, blank screen? Hello? Okay. So today, for the past 2 days, I have been happily listening to this, and I should thank the department head. And I had a earlier interactions with Dr. Wilson, who has been doing a lot of innovations and a new connect with the alumni, bringing back the alumni, and then excellent initiatives. So I should thank Dr. Wilson for the initiatives first, and then the department staff and Dr. Nirmala and the team who have been behind this. I would understand how much of an effort and how much challenges to handle this kind of an event for 3 days together. They have done it with a lot of energy, coordinating, and then having done wonderful structured in this. So I thank all of them. And the interesting speakers, I also thank the interesting speakers who have done excellent presentation, fellow alumni and then distinguished persons from many IT companies and others who had given their perspective in their how they have taken the view and what is the future lies for us. So that is a great thing. And I want to give my view in a very, very simple way for the next 15 minutes. So if you see this, skills have been changing. Skills have been changing from time immemorial. And as the situation changes, you need to acquire new skills, you need to adapt yourself, and then come up with the new ways of doing business. So example is, I gave my own case history. And some of the industry related things are in 1800 industrial revolution, there was horse riding. Industrial revolution was there. So at the time, whoever could ride horse had an advantage. Whoever could walk couldn't cover much. And a guy learning horse riding can cover more area, can cover more wars and other things. So that was a differentiator. Later on, as the industry increased and other things where powered vehicles become a thing, a guy who can do driving, a person who can do lorry, drive a lorry or car or something, he had an advantage and he can do more work than relying on others. So he can get a better job, he can do better work. So that was a differentiator. Later on, 1970s, so much of government and other things and the nationalization with this one, the sought after job, even if you finish BCom, if you have typewriting and shorthand, you will get a better job. The BCom doesn't matter, but the typewriting did matter. And it was the most sought after skills. Then during your birthdays, early days, there is a spark in D2K. Whoever is an engineer, whether it's a marine engineer, automobile engineer, everything, they were inducted into IT and then code reading. D2K sparked up this one. People were saying that in 1999, world is going to crash because of D2K problem. All the systems going to fail. But interestingly, it created new business opportunities. That was a Kickstarter for IT companies. Earlier, they were struggling. 1999 and 2000 was a major opportunity for ITs, and then there was a big boom. That is where it started picking up in a grand way. And there, the popularity in coding and computer centers becomes. So everybody who had typewriting and shorthand centers, now they converted into computer centers. So the board changed for sell the typewriters, buy some PCs, old PCs, computer center, it is soaring business. So that's the most sought after skill. Now, nobody is there in computer center, okay? But these computer centers have a usage now. I will tell about it later. In 2020, the key buzzword is that everything is almost process automation is done. Data analytics is happening. So you need to talk about artificial intelligence related subjects, nano degrees, and data analytics. That is the prime thing. So if you know data analytics, your job is at a premium and you get into USM. So the bottom line is skills as a value to handle changing scenarios. Okay. As BCom students, you have been talking about bank. Okay. You know what a bank is. I need not tell about it. And my perspective from a bank is having the major functions like remittance and deposit, and then evaluating whether I can give a loan to him by looking at him or checking with him, prodding him, and find out how much I can give loan to him. Okay, and then having given the loan, and then give him credit card to spend. Again, more loan. Then once he has become wealthy, we also tell him that we'll manage our wealth, invest in multiple products and other things. There is a way. And then also insure, and then put your funds in insurance, investment, and other things. These are all the traditional activities which the bank, the core things are to these two, and this is an additional accounting and compliance. So where the key accounting comes in the compliance, and how these transactions are accounted in the balance sheet and tracked. So if you see, this is the core function. This is how banks have been functioning from the time when the old Vatikadais and other things were there to the current 1960s model. But with the latest trends and other things, it is no longer, all these functions are no longer with the banks. The fintech, financial technology transformation has broken the banks into the bits and pieces. Okay, if you see this now, the remittance and deposit is handled by payment banks, P2P payment banks, solutions, UPS solutions. With the UPS solution, you no longer go to the bank for a funds transfer, right? Earlier, we used to go 10 o'clock in the morning to take a DD for 200 rupees and then walk all the way to post office, put it in registered post. After 2 days, he will confirm that he has received it, and then he will put it in his bank for collection. All this is over while we are having lunch, or like an ad when you are dancing, you do the remittance. Okay. The risk rating, there are now agencies who do risk rating online. They do the writing, they procure the potential applicants, rate them, do the profiling, and identify for this person I can give so much loan, and then sell only that evaluated loan for the bank for them to give the loans. Okay, so all the pre-processing, everything is done by private agencies. Only the actual loans are given by banks. Similarly, credit cards. Earlier, only banks used to give credit cards. Now, Railways is giving it, and then IRCTC is giving it. All the Kirana stores and all the brands are giving their own credit card, branded cards, and then digital wallets. All this is happening. And nowadays, you don't even carry a credit card in our purse. Your phone is your entire thing. So finally, only in the payment, it comes to the bank. Similarly, investments, there are so many portals, robo-advisors, discount brokers are there through which you can do it. You need not go to the bank. But for settlement only, you come here for the bank. Similarly, insurance portal. So I am saying that I want to do an insurance, my personal insurance for 20 lakh. Then through portal, you get 15 codes, select what you want, and final execution and payment only comes into the bank. Similarly, accounting compliance, no longer bank does their own bulky ledgers, write it somewhere, and all these things is not happening. So entire thing is accounting, that in a cloud-based platform, and your auditor doesn't come to the bank at all. They sit at their office or home, check all the bank records and certify, and then tax compliance and audit happens on a real-time basis, not on at the end of the year as a big mailer. So you don't get free food, biryani, and soft drinks and other things when you are there on audit board. All this is gone. So what was a big physical based thing has been expanded into multiple transactions, multiple things by fintech evolution. That is happening. And these are all the changes, and how we adapt to the changes is there your skill and your growth. So the government have been doing lot of work in this regulatory and changing scenario like UPI, the Unified Payment Identification, and then the paperless layer, cashless layer, where UPI-based settlement and everything is happening. RBI is giving access to all, P2P payment, loans by everything. All these things are happening. And this has been on the agenda for the past 6 or 7 years, and they have been trying hard to move it. But our people are still comfortable with the cash and the advantage and the manipulation things it offers. So slowly the government has been pushing, but things are not moving. You see, the government in the last 4 or 5 years, this is not only Indian government, the world over, these are all some of the changes. Trying to do demonetization, the size of cash circulation, focus more toward digital payments, having GST so that your business is controlled and having a proper positioning of all the turnover tracked by the government for proper taxation. And avoid cash transactions and go more into accounting, banking, move all the transactions into the banking system or through the accounting system. And have one common integrity of an identity by having one identity, so that earlier I used to get 15 bank accounts, okay, with a different limits. Now no longer we can't do it because everything is linked to Aadhaar, and then income tax gives you a statement say that your bank balances in so and so accounts are this, which are not accounted in your income tax. So this is a level of integration that is happening. Still there is a lot of gaps. And everybody is pushing onto the metros, personal space problems, health, and then health awareness is a challenge because of the congestion and other things. Okay, fortunately or unfortunately, we landed into the COVID-19 situation in 2020-21. It has been a challenge, but we can think of a blessing. What it has done on hindsight is that whatever things that have been pushing on this one, this has created a new scenario where you need to stay at home, avoid travel, no public interaction, no crowded places, okay, and avoid cash, okay, because this is where your virus can spread through contact. And then businesses closed, okay, and only essentials are open. All sorts of things we faced through the last 1.5 years. But the bottom effect, a positive effect, is that whatever the government have been trying to push through on some of the compliance related things are now becoming a reality, and people have started following it in a big way out of necessity. Let us see what are they. Cash apply reduced. Nobody touches cash now because in the initial period, you can remember that people used to wash the currency notes in turmeric and other things, dry it out, and then only take it. That is the level people are cautious about. Okay, reduction in, and the retail going to digital. You go to your local Nadar shop or any pawn shop or something, comfortably pay by Paytm. 20 rupees, 30 chalega. Everything is payable. So that people are forced to accept. Now we are in a comfortable situation where I no longer take my purse outside and I go with my phone. And I do my transaction, everything through phone. And for the GST and other things, it has given a breather to stabilize and fine-tune the system so that your commerce and business is fine-tuned and controlled into this one. In the meantime, all your tolls and other things have been integrated into credit cards. so that you no longer pay cash at tolls. And your Aadhaar integration has happened. Because of that, now if you want to do any certification or your COVID-19 vaccination certification, Aadhaar is a prime number. Okay. Due to deconcession, working from hometown has been allowed. Earlier, if I tell me that I want to work from home for 2 days, my manager will not do. You go resign and then you stay at home. Now, manager is pushing me to work from home. That advantage is there, and the side effect is that it has decongested the metro, where bulk of the population stay at their hometown. From the health side, adherence to queues, better health practices, and other things. And due to any critical situation, it has triggered new business models and better work-life balances. So this, in a way, if you see positively, this is the things what the governments and others have been trying to push. Now people are embracing with open hand because of necessity. And I think the culture level and other things are getting improved because of this kind of revised interaction models. Now everybody, if you want to go to a relative's house, first phone them, check them whether they are okay for the people coming in, and then only you go. Earlier, it never used to be that just walk in and then create maximum trouble to the relatives. So that relative interaction, everything has become to a grand extent. So that is another way. If you see this, the COVID-19 has impacted many industries, but also by this impact, it has created very interesting new uses for some of the emerging technologies which are there or which were being used for totally different functionalities. Okay, so let us see some of this. Healthcare industry. Okay, earlier once COVID was there, the first hit was forget everything else, whether you are from heart disease or something, we will take care of you later. So the focus was more on the diagnosis and other things, and making the initial identification and taking care of the COVID impacted people. So they were using some of the ready-made kits and other things which were earlier not at all used. Now for testing, for validation, and this one, everything has ready-made kits have been used in field everywhere else. And the people who are making this kind of an easy to use ready-made kits are the trendsetters, are the new business models like Bharat Biotech, Roche, and other things. Okay. Earlier, had anyone known the term called oximeter? Oximeter was only shown in movies where the pulse with going like that, 98, 94, and suddenly the hero dies when it comes to 0. That is what we know about oximeter. Now, oximeter is a household term, and earlier it was selling for 3,000 rupees at the initial stages. Now the leftover oximeters are sold for 300 rupees. It has become a popular thing. So new technologies, new adoptions. Retail. Shops are closed. No movement, nothing. You are allowed to scurry on for 3 hours in the morning. You buy whatever you want and come back within the 3 hours. And this is where the e-commerce and the sales portals brought in. People who used to go to 3 vegetable shops to buy the best tomato for half a kilo, okay, now they are buying in online, tomato please. He doesn't care about them, I want only tomato. So that is the mental change. So people buy grocery and vegetables. There are so many stories about how to buy a vehicle, which part to break and find out whether that particular vegetable is good or not. Now gone are the days. So we order half a kilo of drumstick in a thing, it comes chopped up into 3 pieces. Even meat. Some people say that I want it online. I want to see the actual cutting physically within my, so to ensure presence. Now they are ordering processed meat from online. And Amazon, Big Bazaar, Big Basket, and many of the meat companies, they are minting business. It's a total shift of business from a traditional setup to this one. And again, to come back to a local meat shop will take some time. And I'm sure 50% of the guys are not coming back to the local meat shop. Restaurants. In hotel, prohibited. So what happened is online food review, you analyze which one is good and order either through Zomato and other thing. Recently, based on this popularity, Zomato, with a consistent 5 years of loss-making company, created one of the biggest IPOs and then huge hit on the market. Okay, why? How they could do it? Because of the confidence and the new found popularity in its usage. So order cancellation and food delivery at central kitchen. Now we are used to ordering food over Zomato. Now my son no longer consults me, but daddy, I already ordered food for. So this is the level it is happening. So the central kitchen at home has become a failed concept, and everybody in the family is ordering their own food through Swiggy and Zomato. Interesting. I get to taste multiple food in a day. Rented travel. Earlier, Ola and Uber and other thing had a huge hit and then they were totally finished. No movement at all. But some of the people turned back and say that because of the restriction, I can't go there, but I can ask somebody to deliver it to me. That was a business opportunity. So delivery of person items, food parcels and other things. So there is a separate thing. Earlier, only food used to be delivered by Swiggy, Zomato. Now Swiggy, Zomato, like so many other delivery things are there, Dunzo, VFast and other things, where they deliver in 3 hours, 4 hours and other things. So if I want to collect Diwali Bachanam next week from my uncle at North Madras, easiest thing is ask them to send it by Dunzo. I'm not going anywhere near that. So the business interaction, social interaction has changed. Okay. Banks closed. No cash transactions because of COVID issues. It has given a phenomenal push to the digital payments on POS terminals. Now everybody, a roadside fruit wala, after buying 4 bananas, I hesitantly asked, I forgotten my purse. Can I go and come back? No problem, sir. I have Paytm. He has got a small card and then he is saying Paytm. And then 15 rupees I pay Paytm for 3 bananas and then come back. This is the business model change. And people who adapt quickly and have the Paytm card, he will survive. And the other guy who accepts only cash, he is not going to survive. This is the challenge here. So the local kiranas, the local nadar kadais and others, now they say that when I call him, say that don't worry, sir, you send your list in this WhatsApp, sir. I will deliver home and you can pay by GPay. I have GPay, Paytm, anything, sir, phone pay. So the guys, local guys who adapt and then who handle this is again surviving, and it is all for our convenience. IT companies. Commuting was a problem. Okay. And then that is where the cloud-based solutions were a hit. Microsoft was earlier a PC-based, product-based company. And last 10 years, they slowly shifted over all their operations to a cloud-based company and Office 360 and then everything they have done it. And that is bringing a lot of dividends where your Microsoft and Amazon, they're having their cloud-based hosting. Only because of that, people are now able to work from home and then handle a complex solution from their home. Earlier in IT, we used to have dedicated ODCs, there is offshore development centers for a specific banks. That has got special security where only the people who can work on there can go after showing identity. And even in that, the financial stock trading kind of application, they got their own special enclosed area within the ODC. The security is there. I being the business head, even I cannot go there because I need to sign a contract because they know the balances of many of the people. So being the business head, I am not allowed. That is the level of security. Now that security is being implemented by the guy sitting in a kitchen and doing on the top right, working from home. That is the business process change it has happened. Real estate. IT companies, you see OMR, it is having a deserted look. Okay, most of the companies are vacant, and the different food shops, makeup shops, and then all the dress materials, the entire thing wiped out. Primarily because the dependency of IT is now nobody works in Siriseri or Elcott anywhere. Everything spread all over Tamil Nadu because of the work from home. So people are enjoying, but slowly they're also feeling the pinch that they thought they will roll and enjoy from home. They are in for big surprise. The wives and mothers are asking them to do the cleanup and local shop and other thing. They're finding it working from office seems to be better. Okay, many of the people are saying that work from home. I don't want. I don't want to do sweep. I don't want to cut the onion and do the project management. No, but I saw some interesting points on the debate in the last half an hour. But there is a solution to it. Okay, there is a trend which is happening, which is in small towns because of the decongestion. The small town prices are going up, land prices are going up because people want to settle there, don't want to come back to Chennai. And the enterprising guys there who had local internet cafes, which are no longer the computer centers, no longer thing, they're converting them into work from home offices. Okay, you pay 5,000 per month, you get broadband, you get AC, you get 1 or 2 coffees, and then no disturbance from wife, no kids to manage, nothing. You can happily sleep for 8 hours and go back home and then say that I am tired. So that is the advantage that the new model is coming up. A lot of small office complexes and then the dilapidated lodges are getting converted into the private offices. From the business side, there is also big companies who are buying the free spaces, okay, and then they are renting it to small companies. So you have a big space with 30 or 250 seats. Companies like WeWork, Worka, and Liquid Space, what they do is they segment it into small office. So if I start a small company with 10 desks, I can go and rent 10 desks for 5 months. Okay, so 5 months I pay. At the time, if I expand, I can buy another 5 or 10 seats, and then it is dynamic by renting by the seat, not office. So these are all new, totally new business models, and who think and then who are aligned with the time and who see the opportunities are the winners. Okay. So these are all some of the insights or changing scenarios of COVID impact and how the current emerging technologies like this are being used for totally different uses and then getting different benefits and how the new set of companies are kickstarting. Now, already Zomato has realized the benefit. Now, Paytm has been approved for the biggest IPO in last 20 years. So if it comes, it will be a mega IPO kind of a thing. So this is where the business is. This is where a challenge, a calamity, and the other things has changed, normally changes the business consideration, and new models and the new structures are coming in. So with this, I rest my brief overview on the valedictory address for a successful presentation of the 3 days deliberations. I saw some interesting presentations, business models, quizzes, and the lively debate in the last 1 hour on interesting subject and very, very heated arguments on the various points. That was really interesting. So definitely, we are almost crossing the health challenge. Now this has changed our lifestyle and our business model, and we need to understand, analyze, and see what are the new opportunities and align with them and go to a success. Wishing you all a grand success in the new post COVID-19 world, and wishing you to create new businesses. So down the line, after 20 years, I would like to see many of you coming back and giving lectures like this on how you leverage on the situation and created new business models and prospered. So wishing you great success. Thank you all. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to deliver this.
Thank you, sir. Your words were the source of knowledge. Winners take chances like everyone else. They fear failing, but they never refuse to let fear control them. Now I feel very excited, like each one of you, in announcing the winners of the Insignia Events 2021. Winners of the interclass events business quiz, first place goes to Vishal S and Tarun R from first BCom C. Second place goes to Basil Manathotam and Alan Paul Sirik from third BCom A and F. Mehendi, first place goes to Deepika K from second MCom Koba. Second place goes to R. Dhanushya from first BCom B. Debate, first place goes to R. Rajeshwari and Harish Kumar P from third BCom A and F. Second place goes to B. Vaishnavi and Deepika from second MCom Koba. Rangoli, first place goes to R. Dhanushya from first BCom B. Second place goes to Shweta Priya M from first BCom A and F. Poster designing, first place goes to R. Jayashree from third BCom A and F, and second place goes to Harish Kumar P from third BCom A and F. Business plan, first place goes to Basil Manathotam from third BCom A and F. Second place goes to Madhumita M from second BCom C and Harish Kumar P from third BCom A and F. Winners of the intercollegiate events debate, first place goes to Vaidishwar Prakash and Karthik Rajaram of Loyola College, Chennai. Second place goes to Safia Faizun and Nakia Muhammad from Justice Bashir Ahmad Said College for Women. Poster designing, first place goes to Yashin Beham of Justice Bashir Ahmad Said Ahmad College for women. Second place goes to Bhavya R from SDNB Vaishnavi College for women, Crumpet. Business quiz, first place goes to Anisha Shahid and Arshita from Dr. MGR Janaki College of Arts and Science for women. Second place goes to Fatina and Rashida Saim from Justice Bashir Ahmad Said College for women. Business plan event, first place goes to Soundarya Lakshmi of Sri Krishna Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. Second place goes to Renga Padma Srinidhi and Durga Lakshmi from SDNB Vaishnavi College. Don't let the sun go down without saying thank you to someone and without admitting to yourself that absolutely no one get this far alone. Now, I request our head of the department, Dr. Nirmala Mohan, ma'am, to appreciate everyone involved in the event. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening. Respected Chief Guest, Mr. Siva Sankar Babu,
Managing Consultant, Technobank, Dr. J. Janet Vanilla, Director, Shift 2, Dr. Zenith Zerina, Staff Advisor, E-Commerce Forum, my colleagues, our well-wishers, and students in the audience. It is a privilege and a great joy for me to stand before this unique gathering to extend a vote of thanks at this valedictory function of the 19th Annual Conference and Insignia 2021. To all those who have contributed in one way or the other to make this event a grand success. I, on behalf of the Department of Commerce, Shift 2, first of all, extend my most sincere thanks to the Lord Almighty. I did like to give my hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Sivasankar Babu, for gracing today's event. Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking and interesting address. My sincere thanks to our principal and Bursa. My special thanks to Dr. Janet Vanilla, Director Shift 2, for her moral support. We specially thank all the eminent speakers who were kind enough to share knowledge, expertise, and associate with us and guide the deliberations in a focused manner and set the tone for technical sessions. We also wish to place on record our sincere thanks to all eminent personalities who had kindly agreed to act as session chairman and judges of various events organized. We would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the contributions of all those who have presented papers during conference. I cannot thank enough for this willingness and involvement to take on the completion of the work beyond their comfort zone. There is much varying on the vote of thanks to express my emotion that fits atmosphere right. So I specifically thank the people who have been the backbone of the event, Dr. Shirley Devakirbai, conference convener, and Dr. Zenith Zerina, e-commerce forum advisor. Special thanks to both of you. I also extend thanks to all the professors for their cooperation in organizing this event. Here, we are fortunate enough to be backed by a team of our department who knows their task and are very much result-oriented. I wish to place on record my heartfelt thanks to the following team coordinators, respective committee members, and volunteers. Technical Committee, Hall Arrangement, Refreshment Committee. During Insignia, we conducted various events on stage and off stage. I thank all those who have participated overwhelmingly and making the event a success. Thanks to non-teaching staff for their support. Further, a big thank you to the Master of Ceremony for their effort towards anchoring during the last 3 days with their style and own ideas of explanation of everything. I mention my deepest sense of appreciation and place on record my hearty thanks to all the volunteers front and backstage because of whom we made this event possible. Finally, I thank the wonderful students who have turned up in such great numbers in online. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You're always being a great support for us. I once again thank you all for being a part of this validatory program. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. This is Sneha AG from 2nd BCom Professional Accounting, signing off. Live, love, MCC. I request everyone to turn on your camera for a group photo.